And moving higher up, people would say, hey, why don't we help him out? We can take him home, let him take a nice shower, buy him some new clothes, help him get a job, feed him. And some people said, wow, maybe he's just happy where he is. Maybe he enjoys this. Maybe he might have even lived there before. All you have to do is reach for a little better thought. That's it. Because once you get on that wheel of thinking better and reaching for a better thought, it's easier to reach for a better one, isn't it? Exactly. And as you're reaching for a better thought, don't you think that affects you too? It does. But as long as you're holding on to that bottom thought, you're not going to be able to move up. And it's easy to do. Because the news is all around us. How many of you watch the news? Now, if they had something good to say, I'd watch the news. But think about, your brains are like computers. The more you put in, the more you get out. And you can watch the news. I'm not saying nobody watch the news. Be oblivious to what's going on. Wouldn't that be nice? But ignorance is not bliss. But really, think about how much you're taking in. And it's okay to hear it and see it. But then erase yourself from it. I have a friend who says, gosh, I just feel so negative, I'm just going to go take a shower and wash everything off of me. Or I'm going to go sit and meditate and be in the silence. Be with that like-mindedness of spirit inside of you. Touch in with that, because we are all one. You know, some people say, well, what is our goal in life here? It's to expand who you are, to use these bodies, these tools that we have, the people around us, the buildings around us, to use those things to help ourselves and others expand. And how do we do that? Through each other. Because we can help everybody expand. What happens when you have a friend and you've been friends for a long time, and then there's something that comes up and you just kind of don't agree eye to eye on that? And you think, wow, that's really different. I just don't agree with that. Believe it or not, if you look at that as a way to shift and expand your consciousness. Because people are here in your life. I know you've seen that thing that goes around on the email. You're here for a week, a season, a lifetime. They're all here to help you grow. And we are here to help our friends grow. And as we help bring people along and expand who they are, that will shift the energy and the vibration in this world to one of love. I want to tell you about a story about a gentleman. And he was a young entrepreneur in his late 20s, very wealthy man, good in business, seemed to have everything in life, and he bought a Jaguar. Did I say that right? And when he bought this Jaguar, he's driving it down the roads, and he's on the country roads, and he's just having a blast, just speeding along. And then when he would get into the towns, he would slow down and watch for the kids darting out in front of the road, just to make sure he didn't hit anybody. And he was driving really slowly down this one road. And he heard something hit his car door on the passenger side. And he pulled the car right over. Just bought this car now. Just bought it. Y'all know how expensive they are, don't you? And he got out of the car. And he walked over to a little boy standing on the side. He goes, "Don't you know how expensive this car is? Look what you did to the door of my car. That's going to cost a lot of money to fix it." And this little boy is standing there with his head down, and he says, "I know, sir, I'm really sorry." He goes, "Where are your parents? How come you would do such a thing?" "I know, sir, I'm really sorry, but I need your help." And he says, "What?" And he says, "I was pushing my little brother in his wheelchair. And we happened to go over the curb. And he fell out. And I cannot put him back up by myself. Would you help me?" The gentleman walked over there, put the little boy back in the chair, took his handkerchief, wiped off his wounds. And he had a long, slow walk back to his car. Did he fix the dent? Nope. Because it was a reminder to him to be appreciative of everything he has. When you wake up in the morning, start with giving thanks for everything that you have, everything that you are, everything that you can do, because there is nothing you cannot do. Now, there was a time in your life when you believed that. I can remember I had this little red wagon. And I used to sit in that wagon and I used to think, I'm going to go flying not very long from now. I'm going to be flying. And I thought I could. And somehow, as we grow, we're told you can't do that. You can't do that. Don't be silly. You can't own your own business. Don't be silly. You can't make it through school. There was a time when you knew that you could do anything. Bring that back, because you can do anything you set your mind to. Anything.